Hey guys, I want to talk about three things. First is the mainstream media. Second, it's the war on truth. And the last is real tyranny. The mainstream media, I got home in time tonight before the radio show. I had enough time to listen to a little bit of one of the Alphabet Channel's nightly news programs. Three stories in a row. The first one was South Korea bombing an island that the North Koreans bombed a few weeks ago. A little saber rattling going on there, conditioning you for conflict potentially in that peninsula. You know, one of the Axis of Evil members is getting all uppity over there. The second was that a terror group was thwarted in the UK, showing you that the international war on terror is working and you're being protected. The third was yet another fluff piece, this one on the TSA, to make you feel safe and secure. They wanted to let you know that thousands, undisclosed thousands of armed U.S. air marshals are now flying around the country and the world, protecting us from those liberty-grabbing terrorists. Now, in my opinion, these are conditioning, plain and simple. You know, get ready. There could be something coming in Korea, and be glad that you live in an Eastern European, East German-style Stasi police state where you can't fly from one end of the country without a bureaucrat checking your papers and potentially feeling you up. The idea that we've spent billions and billions of dollars, and in the UK you've spent billions and billions of pounds, turning once liberty-loving countries into nothing more than police states is absolutely disgusting to me, especially when you look at some of the numbers. The numbers of people who've died in terrorist attack in the last decade is less than 30,000. The number of people who die every year in this country from lung cancer is nearly 200,000. Where is the war on lung cancer? Where is the war on drunk driving? Where's the war on accidental drowning? These are the kind of numbers that equate to terrorist attack. Yet these things don't create massive amounts of profit for the military-industrial complex, who's truly one of the groups that are in power, along with their financiers on Wall Street, this cabal of globalist bankers who are running the show. It's very profitable to prosecute a war on an enemy that you can't quantify, who has no borders, you cannot defeat because you can't put your hands on them, and they cannot surrender because they don't have one single leader. They don't have borders. You can't go in, invade, plant your flag, and be done with the war. That's why we have a situation where the U.S. is engaged in the longest military engagement in the history of this country in Afghanistan. But what's real tyranny, what's happening right now, or actually I should say last night, you don't hear this on the nightly news, is things like Senate Bill 510. The equivalent of the Patriot Act for the food industry was passed and slipped through the Senate last night. Now it's going back over to the House, and it's going to get voted on. They're going to change the number to H.R. 2751. This is tyranny, where you're going to have an FDA with power to go in, raid with guns and badges, and enforce some kind of bogus law, getting the government's hand yet deeper into the economy, deeper into your liberty. And again, it's going to be for your own good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this story with this video, and I'm also going to give the number for the Congressional Switchboard. If you care at all about your freedom, if you care at all about your liberty, call them tomorrow. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give it out, 202-224-3121. Congressional Switchboard, you can call them, just tell them your zip code. They'll put you in touch with your congressman or congresswoman, and tell them to vote no on this. I mean, people are always asking, what do we do? I know this is a small thing, but in the big picture, this is how our liberty has been taken, incrementally, piece at a time. And in the last 10 years, the accelerator has been pushed through the floor. I don't know how much time's left. All I know is if you're looking for something to do, this is something you can do. You can act, pick up the phone, and make the call. Stories are attached. That's all I got.